So we're going to kick off today with the science of sales, selling without selling out. So welcome to the lead generation masterclass. Today we're going to delve into the science of sales, selling without selling out. And our focus is on mastering ethical sales techniques that are going to build trust and long-term relationships. And the idea here is to transform those prospects into loyal partners. I'm your host, also the founder of Leadith. Leadith is a LinkedIn lead generation marketing agency, and thrilled to be your guide today. At Leadith, we're dedicated to helping B2B coaches and consultants achieve sustainable growth through ethical sales and marketing strategies. I love to focus on B2B coaches and consultants because, that's my kind of background. I've been working with small businesses. Leadith's been running for around about 4 years, and we've partnered with around about 150 now different businesses, all in different sectors. Recently did a survey, and we found out that a lot of people, kind of a biggest proportion of our customer base were kind of solopreneurs, B2B coaches, consultants. So part of this masterclass series is to equip those guys to grow their businesses in a sustainable way using software as a bit of a backbone to really help them to kind of propel forward. Before we dive into today's topic, let's quickly go over some of the basics of a marketing funnel. And the marketing funnel, as you can see here, this reflects the journey that your prospects take, right the way from top of funnel, initial awareness, being able to kind of identify your brand, all the way through to that very bottom of the funnel, the bottom of the funnel page, and that is, becoming a loyal customer. And there's several stages here. There's awareness. Awareness is top of the funnel. Potential customers becoming aware of your brand through your various channels like LinkedIn predominantly. And that's our focus. We also talk about other social media platforms, blogs, and advertising. We look at, pay-per-click advertising, all sorts of different things. SEO for organic advertising on your website. Moving down this funnel, the next stage 2 is interest. They've been to your website. They now have expressed an interest in your products or services. And often that is that engagement through a website, or it could be attending something like this, a LinkedIn Live, where they've come to learn a little bit more. This is kind of that interest stage. Stage 3, right in the middle of the funnel there, is the consideration stage. And at this stage, prospects are, starting to compare your offering with competitors, maybe evaluating, which solution is going to best fit their need. So I always think about, that's, it's a great if you've got testimonials and you've got recommendations and things like that. Those sorts of assets are really going to help to kind of move them down to the next stage, which is conversion. And in that kind of conversion stage, this is where they're going to purchase from you and become a customer. And very much sales kicks off in this area. That consideration and conversion stage, mid to bottom of funnel, is what we're talking about today. So in previous masterclasses, we've looked at right at the top of the funnel, awareness. Even we looked at laying the foundations down for, do you even have a product, and market fit, and all of that sort of exciting stuff. So watch back at the previous episodes and you can learn a little bit more about that. But we need to understand this funnel because it's crucial. It's crucial, really. It helps us to tailor every bit of marketing that we do, and it helps us to guide prospects through each stage really effectively. So let's move on to a little bit about the Leadith system. I don't kind of hang around on these slides too much for a reason, but let me briefly introduce you to the Leadith roadmap. So our mission is to provide you with tools and knowledge necessary to help you to elevate your business. And over the next few weeks, we cover a variety of different topics that range from LinkedIn lead generation to really hyper advanced marketing techniques using AI. We look at each step is basically to help you to navigate the different complexities of B2B sales and marketing. So on the roadmap, we help people who are struggling to get any sales with LinkedIn all the way through to the top here, which is where they get more time and generating more sales, which is where they want to be. And the way we kind of help them to achieve that is through these 6 stages. Stage 1 is to look at that target audience. And again, previous masterclasses, we've gone into a bit of depth onto all these different stages. So have a look at the previous masterclass series if you want to learn about this. But once we've identified that audience, we've got Leadeth is a platform, and it's connected with 350 million verified work email addresses, and also 750 million, enriched B2B prospect profiles. So you can really niche in and find your exact audience, target in on them. The second step, once you know who those key contacts are, is to prime your personal LinkedIn profile. Okay, and the focus is here on personal. People buy from people. It's great to have a company page as well on LinkedIn, but we're thinking about your personal page because we're going to be connecting with these people in stage 3. So your personal profile needs to speak directly to them. And there's loads of top tips around how we do that. We actually ran last week a 4-day challenge, and we got people to actually change their LinkedIn titles as part of the challenge to speak more directly to that audience. So stage 3 is all about, using an advanced multi-channel sequencing software, the Leadeth SEP. It's the sales engagement platform, and that enables us to, engage with over 2,000 monthly touch points with all these different prospects, and we create real bespoke campaigns that are really enhanced by AI. And we can also create personalized videos, introductions to really boost your connections, build that audience and boost that first degree network. That significantly boosts the response rate, which is fantastic. And this nicely moves us into stage 4. Stage 4 is all about having an email outreach system. LinkedIn outreach is great, but you can't just rely on just one strategy. It can work quite effectively, but it's best to have multiple strategies if you want a steady stream of leads coming in. So we've bolted on email outreach as a strategy. It's kind of the natural follow-up conversation from a LinkedIn conversation. Just take it to email. So not only can we blast out, hundreds of emails per month, but we can also send out just a few of warmer, kind of more direct emails. And those warm emails tend to get greater results. Stage 5 is all about video content marketing, and that's where we kind of come up with 13 distinctive 1 to 2 minute videos. Our team can handle everything for you, or we can just teach you how to do it yourself. So we work with both done for you and we work with done with you. So there's both options there available at Leadeth. And the idea of these distinctive videos is to provide an outreach, content outreach method. So putting that content out there is going to draw people in, as well as us being direct in our outreach approaches. So we kind of got a 3-pronged approach here where we're trying to connect with people, reach out to them, different mediums, different platforms, and it comes together and it generates a really strong flow of leads coming into your inbox. Finally, the final stage there, you can't see it, might be covered up, but it's stage 6 is appointment setting. And that's having systems to manage your prospects really tightly. As soon as a prospect has shown that interest, we need to now drive them into the next stage of the funnel, which is a kind of nurturing process. Okay, let's move on to a quick reminder. So I've spoken about this quite a few times. Basically, I run it's a free support community to help you to master these concepts in a bit of detail. I'd love you to be a part of it. If you're watching this and you're excited by marketing, sales, maybe you're a small business owner, you're looking to grow, and you just, you need a bit of direction, a bit of guidance, then I'd welcome you to either scan the QR code to take you to the school page. There's also a dedicated app. So the dedicated app will allow you to access a discussion, networking opportunities. There's a load of resources here. We've got a calendar. So all our weekly lead generation masterclasses like this come up in the calendar, so you can see what's coming up next week. And you can add that to your calendar. You can also access a classroom. And in the classroom, we've actually got a whole host of resources. I'll just run through the classroom super quickly for you, just so you can see what delight to sit here. There's an introduction and a welcome. I tend to do all the videos for these as well. As I say, we've got the lead generation masterclass here. That's the repository of all the recordings of the lead gen masterclasses. So you can click into there. You can go back to Q3 of 2003 and have a look at some of the titles. You might be thinking, wow, AI-powered lead generation, what's all that about? Watch that video. It's quite interesting. It's lots of discussions about, how we're using AI in lead gen. Most of these are about 45 minutes to an hour long. Q1, we did about half an hour on the sessions, and then Q2, we're back up to around about 45-minute sessions. So there's hours and hours of free support content that's really going to help you to dip your toes into LinkedIn, lead generation, marketing, all that sort of stuff. So would welcome you to kind of come into that and check it out. We've got currently around about 251 members in the community. So that's a powerful asset, just to be able to kind of, if you've got some ideas and thoughts, the chances are someone else has probably already had that thought. So feel free to utilize that community, put questions in the community, try not to sell to the other members, that's not what it's for, but be present and put a poll out there if it's going to help you to kind of with ideas for your kind of next product or course or whatever you're doing. Feel free to kind of lean into that community, because there's some really talented business people in there with running multi-figure businesses. So do take advantage of that free community. So leadith.io/school, that's the address to connect with us on that community. So today's focus, we're looking, let's go back 2 weeks before we did the 4-week lead generation 4-day challenge. We actually did mastering marketing, and it was very much kind of further up the funnel. But now, as we're starting to come down this funnel, we're going to just focus on that kind of sales element. Okay, so we're talking about cultivating this approach to selling. We're going to learn about overcoming objections. We touched on it last week. We're going to look at that in a little bit more detail, and we're going to understand, what's the power of this storytelling. Everybody's talking about storytelling at the moment, and how you can use that as part of your sales toolbox. Now, sales can often be seen as very much a numbers game. But today we're focusing on the human side of sales. Ethical sales are crucial for a business because they help you to build really long-term relationships. And those long-term relationships are going to help you to enhance your brand reputation. And that leads to really sustainable growth. And that's what we're looking for. So now we've got, we've got a bit of trust, and we've got good quality relationships there. The idea is, by the end of that whole sales process, we need to be turning those prospects into partners, so they can then refer us, and they're driving more people into the top of your funnels as well. So hopefully by the end of the session, you're going to really understand how to kind of transform those prospects into loyal partners through trust and integrity, which are key values of my own. So let's share the right screen. That might help. Let's look at this in a bit more detail then. So why do ethical sales matter? Why should we focus on this thing, ethical sales? Well, firstly, it builds long-term relationships. Clients really appreciate honesty and integrity, and they're going to remain loyal to you if they feel respected and valued. Secondly, it also enhances your brand's reputation. And if you're building up a business that you potentially want to sell in the future, a lot hangs on this brand, certainly the reputation of the brand. Word of mouth is powerful. It's a very good, having that really tight, good, positive reputation is going to bring more business than any advertising campaign would possibly bring. So think about, ethical sales. It's the lead to sustainable growth. Quick wins, yes, they can kind of boost short-term sales, but ethical practices really kind of help ensure that your business is going to thrive in the long run. So We're looking to build long-term relationships. Don't forget brand reputation. Ethical sales will help you to enhance that brand reputation. And that all leads to sustainable growth. So one of the most effective ways to sell absolutely anything is through what we call a consultative approach. And that means focusing on your client's needs and really doing that in a kind of deep, meaningful way. And we need to learn to kind of provide really hyper tailored solutions that are really going to address that client's needs or pain points. We don't want to really be, rather than pushing products, we're going to be positioning ourselves as a trusted advisor. And this approach not only will help us to kind of make more sales, but it also helps us to build a really solid, a strong foundation for a long-term relationship. Now, often we get into conversations about objections when we look at clients' inboxes. It will be full of different objections and reasons why people don't want to go further with relationships or whatever. Objections are a natural part of the sales process. And rather than seeing them as barriers, we need to view them as opportunities. They're actually opportunities to help us to really better understand our clients' concerns. We need to start with our ears. God gave us two of these for a reason and one mouth. And I believe that's because we need to be actively listening and also empathizing with their concerns. So we need to really do some fantastic listening. We need to address any concerns that they're, talking about in a really kind of direct, with honesty. And often these kind of objections will stem maybe from a lack of just information. It could be they've jumped down that funnel a little bit too quickly, and there might just be some gaps in what they know about your business. So think about reframing some of those objections as opportunities, and that will be an opportunity for you to provide even further value, and you can turn any potential negatives quite easily into a positive. And I'll show you a quick example of one that I commonly get is people just are very time poor. Certainly in this day and age, this generation that we're living in, time is a very precious commodity. So a client might say to you, I just don't have the time now to implement this solution right now. So the first thing on that list there is to listen and empathize. So a great kind of response to that client might be something like, hey, I completely understand that time is a precious resource and it's challenging to find the right moment to start something new. So by saying that, you've kind of really you've listened to them and you've empathized with them, and you're kind of responding with that understanding. Secondly, you need to start to address those concerns that they had directly and provide some sort of reassurance. So I might come back with this time issue that they've come to me with. I might say, actually, our solution is designed to be easy to integrate into your current workflow, requiring minimal time investment initially. Plus, we offer comprehensive support to ensure a smooth implementation process. So by kind of putting those words in and kind of responding in that manner, we're kind of really kind of getting to the bottom of that time conundrum that they've got. And you can actually kind of reframe the whole time thing as an opportunity and start to highlight maybe some of the long-term benefits. So you could say something like, while it might take some time to get started, the efficiency gains and the time savings that you'll experience in the long run are going to be substantial. Imagine having more time to focus on strategic initiatives once this solution is in place. So you can kind of reframe their question and say, hey, by addressing that time objection in this way, you're acknowledging their concern, you're providing that clear solution, and you're able to kind of reframe the objection to really highlight the overall value and benefits. So hopefully that time example is really one that you'll remember. So listen and empathize, address those concerns directly, and try to reframe those objections as opportunities and think how you can do that. And you'll probably have 5 or maybe 6 different objections that will keep coming back to you, and it's the same ones over again. So if you know how to kind of deal with all of those objections and the typical words, you can kind of create some little templates that you just throw in there, and that helps with that whole sales process. Let's have a look at storytelling now. So storytelling is a really powerful tool in sales. A lot of people use it in marketing as well. And as you know, I'm a great big fan of Donald Miller's book. That's the book here. It's called Building a Story Brand. And we actually looked at it on the 4-day challenge last week, went into a bit of detail, got people to complete a story brand of their own business. And the amazing thing with stories is that, you know, human beings are naturally drawn to stories, and they really help us to create emotional connections with our audience. So, you know, we need to learn to kind of use stories to illustrate the benefits of your products and services. And in this day and age, with things like AI, it's very easy to kind of come up with some frameworks and some ideas. If you're just struggling for stories and don't know what you're going to write about, then ChatGPT is a great tool for just kind of fleshing that out and using that. Takes all the hard work and pain out of it. When we share success stories and maybe case studies, those are going to highlight how your solution is making a big difference to that case study. So a well-told story, it's going to be memorable. You know, it's going to resonate much more deeply than facts and figures alone. So think about the story and that kind of turnaround, you know, for that prospect or client, you know, that you've been working with, and dive into the emotions. Recommendations and testimonials, you know, you might have some really relevant things here that are going to really resonate with your prospects, and that will help them to really drive deeper into the next phase. So it's all about, you know, building that know, like, and trust that a lot of people talk about. I talk about, you know, trust and credibility quite a bit. So these are kind of like the cornerstones of any kind of successful sales strategy. We need to be, you know, transparent. We need to be honest in all our interactions. And I've had, you know, sniffed out a few people that I've been on sales calls with, and, you know, something's not quite added up. People have promised kind of the moon on a stick or whatever the expression is, but yeah, and then down the line, it's not really delivered as promised. So, you know, it's all about just chatting to people in an open, frank way. You know, this is the solution, showcasing it. You know, does it meet their needs? Does it identify the problems they're facing, and does it support them and help them? And that's what it is, which is why it kind of takes a lot of the pressure off sales, you know, because you're just kind of trying to find a solution to someone's problems. And if you're a problem solver like me, you know, I get quite fired up and excited. You know, if somebody's got an issue, they're wanting to, you know, boost their network, generate more leads, or do something like that, I love just getting involved with it and seeing, you know, showing solutions and ways that we've managed to do it with other clients, and then show maybe how this could work for them. So we need to show a real genuine interest in our client's success. When clients see that we truly care about their outcomes, it's just going to be so much more likely for them to then trust us and also continue doing business with us long term. So don't forget, oh yeah, I missed that middle one. Follow through. You know, nothing erodes trust faster than an unfulfilled promise. So if you are going to make a promise, make sure you do follow through on it. That's quite key. So let's have a look at some practical sales techniques that are really going to help you to improve and enhance your sales approach. Effective questioning is quite key. And the key here is to, firstly, ask open-ended questions that are really going to engage your clients to share more about their needs and challenges. Not just the kind of yes/no answers. We want a bit more detail. And then we use active listening. Repeat back what they've spoken to you if you can. That really helps. Listen to understand. Don't just kind of respond. And then finally, we need to really deliver a compelling value proposition. Clearly communicate how our solution addresses their specific needs and why it is the best fit, the best choice for them. So typically we now go down to the floor for questions. Obviously, you've got access to the school group. Welcome you to that school community. Pop your questions there if you want an answer to anything that has come up, and that's leadeth.io/school, SKOOL. So school is spelled SKOOL. And there we can kind of discuss some of these techniques we've covered today. Maybe you've got a real world scenario, or you just want some help in terms of building out some of those common objections for your specific business. Well, that's great. That really welcome that there in the community. Chat in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube or on the LinkedIn live stream. Feel free to leave some comments below, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can on those. I love the interaction and engagement that we're getting on those posts. Just a quick reminder then. So next week, we're going to be looking at the client retention code. And this is very much about keeping your golden geese. I had to look up what a golden goose was, but it's kind of like the thing you have there that separates you. That's your differentiator that kind of keeps you above what everyone else is doing. Is what the terminology golden goose was alluding to. It's not a phrase that I'm familiar with, but when you ask AI to come up with these fancy titles, it puts these sort of things in. So yeah, it's all about client retention basically next week. So feel free to tune in. We're going to run the session at 11 o'clock again, and that will be 11 o'clock on Tuesday. Head over to leadeth.io/masterclass. I would really welcome you to join us there, where you can sign up and have a look at the next week coming up. But the idea of next week is looking at client satisfaction surveys, exclusive offers for repeat clients, having effective feedback loops in place, and things like that. That's going to be our main focus for next week. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today for this lead generation masterclass with the sales focus. It's been a privilege to kind of share some sort of tips, some advice, some support. Hopefully you found something beneficial from today. Again, just a reminder, it'd be great to have you in the school community. Great to kind of work with you there. There's no costs in terms of joining that school community. It's absolutely free to join. Leadeth.io. That's leadeth.io/school. And until then,